1910 or something, and it's lasted all these years. What is the essence? What was Burroughs trying to say to us?
He said it again and again and again and again. Here's what he said.
And it must still have something for the people of today.
It's absolutely true. Here's the truth of it. If you are a clerk in a gray building in a gray city someplace, you're going to have this round little chin and these spindly little legs and these pimply face and this lack of poise. But if I were to grab you out of your house and throw you into a galley someplace where you would become a slave, where you would have to make friends or die, where the first person you met could betray you, you could trust him or not trust him. If you fought with them or if they helped you, you would help them. You would go without food, step one. You would work like a goddamn dog from day till nightfall, and it wouldn't be a matter of months before your chin would be square, your thews would be mighty. You would stand with the noble bearing of a man who has earned his keep and knows his place and has his value. You would befriend Tarkus, the Jeddak of Thark, and he would become your lifelong friend. You would become the Prince of Helium. Why? Because they would look into your soul and they would know that you were a great man. Why? Because you didn't eat a lot of food. You worked your goddamn ass off, and you were loyal and true. You didn't give your word to anybody, but if you gave your word to anybody over anything, you would goddamn die for it before you would let yourself betray yourself. Edgar Rice Burroughs can only teach the truth in messages like that, because those are the facts. And he would tell story after story after story after story of a person who finds himself in this kind of dire peril and rises to the challenge to become a man. And a man is someone who can take care of himself, and a man is someone who loves his friends, and a man is someone who's loyal, a man is someone who's strong. And when Tarzan says to Jane, I'm going to accept the authority of being Tarzan, and I'm also going to accept the responsibility. So when I say, you wait in that tree and I'll be back at 3 o'clock, you bet your ass I'll be back at 3, baby. If it's 3:01 and I'm not here, sell the farm, leave town, because I mean it. And his meaning it is what makes Tarzan great. He means it. When he says it, he means it. We say it, we're testing it. Well, I'm going to be great when I grow up. I don't know.
Well, I thought it was a comment on civilization, how far we've come from the very essence.
Of course, the noble savage is the best way to be natural. That's been my theory, too. See, like, we take the hair business. I think the hair is our tendrils, what Van Vogt wrote about in his book, Slam.
Yeah.
I think that if you really were to examine a piece of hair and cut it, I bet it would bleed. I cannot think of any reason in the world why human beings should ever want to cut their hair or cut off their penises, but we do it because we're contrary. See, but the truth of it is natural is best. And nothing is better than the wrong something. You eat a lot, nothing but corn in Africa, and you get kwashiorkor, and you become stupid and miserable and starve and die like a fool. But just don't eat anything, and you will go for a long, long time, and you will stay healthy, because you won't become unbalanced. See, and balance is the whole game. Balance. The Eightfold Path. All things in moderation. See, I don't have a lot of no's in my life, a lot of forbiddens, the things you can't do that, you can't do that. I can do pretty much anything I want in this universe. And that is a good thing to have, the ability. But along with it comes the responsibility. You've got to choose for yourself.
Okay, let's take, we got a square-jawed man. He's got muscles. Still, he drives a truck, goes to work, he has a family. And the idea of a guy living in the jungle, swinging in the vines, you know, not having to work every day, eating off the coconuts or whatever, you know, appeals to him. He doesn't have to pay life insurance. He doesn't pay the mortgage in the house. I think that's what Burroughs was saying, that every guy wants to escape from these commitments.
But wasn't that also what Jesus was saying? That
okay, we're getting back to Jesus.
No, but I mean, every day, sufficient to the day is the evil thereof. Don't take any thought for tomorrow. Look at the poor butterfly and how richly arrayed it is, that there's nothing quite as beautiful as this lily, that God provides for our needs, that we aren't thrown into this thing as a big mad joke. No, there's a hand on us. We're being watched. We're being guided. That's a great deal of the message also. The message also that the universe should be a friendly place. It should be.
So that's where religion does make man feel better.
And it also teaches that same lesson that the world is here to support us. That sure, you can reach up, look at those South Sea Islanders before Captain Cook brought the syphilis and the gonorrhea and stuff to those people.
That's a good subject.
I mean, that's a really, there's your natural man, your Polynesian in those days.
Very good analogy.
And harmless people, guys, they had to protect themselves from cannibals because there were other groups around there that saw the vegetarian life as not the answer. Rip off the protein energy of the other species so that you don't have to build it for yourself out of, the idea of Tarzan and the idea of Edgar Rice Burroughs is also the idea of narrative strength. He had a wonderful ability to know how to get you interested and then leave you hanging while he changed the subject. And that's what suspense is the ability to get you interested and then I'll keep you interested by not telling you and keeping you in suspense. And he would do that with Tarzan and Jane. He'd get Jane in some trouble, and then he'd cut away from her and go to Tarzan, get Tarzan in some trouble, cut away from him, go back to Jane, always progressing the story forward, and always leaving Tarzan in a position where his whole role in life was to keep his word and to protect his mate.
Can we get Lola on this tape a little bit?
Yeah, come over here and sit down, Lola.
Speaking of his... We must get Lola on video, especially how beautifully dressed you are.
Oh, thank you.